Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Wow. I guess you saw the ending of that. I was going to be on at 3:45, but I moved it back to 3:20 because the game was going to be over so much quicker than I expected. And I didn't think South Carolina was going to make a game out of it there at the end. I thought Alabama was going to run the clock out. And darn if they didn't go down there and score a touchdown and have a shot at a 2-point conversion, which he just overthrew it. Man, Sellers played a good game. He really did. He played an excellent game. Jeez, let's take a look at the college scores right now. Let's see. I'm going to add that to the stage, and let's see. Yep, they're going to 43 seconds. They're just going to run the clock out now. God, what a great game that was. Clemson's, of course, destroyed Wake Forest. We knew that wasn't going to be much of a game. And then, of course, Missouri's beating up on little UMass. Arizona State's, they beat them yesterday, Utah yesterday. And then Miami, God, how they did that back on the 5th. Now, let's see. Let's go back. So, interesting day so far. Gosh, can you believe South Carolina gave them a game like that? Alabama, woo. That would probably not have been good for the Tennessee Vols for Alabama to lose that ball game, because we're going to be playing them next weekend, and we really want them as highly ranked as possible, but it's hard not to root for the underdog. I was rooting for South Carolina because you kind of got to. You always got to root for the underdog. Gosh almighty. Wow, what a game. Let's see. No, they didn't. What? Oh, they did the onside kick? Oh, that's right. 29 seconds left. Are you kidding me? Man, I'd already written it off. Wow. Let's see here. They're on the 47-yard line. Oh, we better get away. Oh, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Wow. Well, they got time for 2 plays. Wow. I can't believe they got the ball back. Oh, crap. All right, so it's 13 seconds left, so they got time for 2 plays. Let's see if they take a short. They don't have a timeout, so if they do a short pass, it'll have to be on the. It'll have to be out of bounds, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Well, gosh, they just need a field goal though. I didn't think about that. So they just need about 15 yards. Oh, they're bringing the house. Throw it. Where are you throwing it? Where are you throwing it? Oh, all you needed was 15 yards. Why are you running this ball out, knucklehead? Doesn't make any difference. God, can you believe that? Man, they just needed 15 yards. He just threw it up. Wow. Well, that would have been something. I guess you can't give up to the final seconds. Man, I didn't even think about an onside kick because I don't know what I was thinking. I was too busy trying to get ready for this show. I wasn't using my head. Wow. That makes it even. Alabama's going to need therapy after this. Jeez, what a game. There's your moral victory for South Carolina. Nothing worse than the moral victory. Wow. Man, no kidding. Definitely. All right, so let's get back into some of these scores here. Golly. Yeah, there's the game final. And then we got a bunch of games coming up. A bunch of games coming up. Number 4, let's see. The big game of Ohio State versus Oregon. That's going to be a huge game. Let's see. 3:30 Penn State at USC. That's a good game. Got big Texas versus Oklahoma coming up at 3:30 in 6 minutes. That'll be a big game. Let's see. It's in Dallas, so yeah, they're favored by 2 touchdowns. Penn State's only favored by 6. Ohio State's favored by 3.5. It's at Oregon's. Why? And then we got the fake injury bowl. Oh, I've got an update for you folks. I got an update for you on the fake injuries that I think you'll find extremely interesting. If you folks have watched Ole Miss, they've been faking injuries left and right for about 4 or 5 years now. And it's really gotten to the point to where it's absurd. And I got fed up with it this last week or two, watching that Kentucky ball game where they must have done it 12 times to Kentucky, and somehow Kentucky beat them, even though Ole Miss pulled out every dirty trick they knew as far as fake injuries. And then they did it against South Carolina, and even when they had a 3-touchdown lead, they were doing the fake injuries everywhere they could think of. And I just got fed up with it. So I put a video out, and it actually kind of went viral. Now, I don't know if this had anything to do with it or not, but let me show you what Ole Miss, for the first time in 4 or 5 years, however long, Lane's been doing this since the pandemic. They put out a statement about their fake injuries that they're constantly doing. So I'm going to show you what they said, and I think you'll find it pretty interesting. Yeah, it was right here. Said feigned injuries. Let's see. Ole Miss felt compelled to distribute an official statement on the burgeoning controversy. Said feigned injuries has become a notable topic in college football, and we realize our program has been part of that discussion. You've been the entire part of the discussion. You are the discussion. Per a statement attributed not to any individual, but simply to Ole Miss football, we have been in communication with the national coordinator for football officiating and provided relevant medical information for his review to answer questions about recent injuries. We've also updated the SEC office, and our head coach, Kiffin, will communicate with our coaches and players to ensure we conduct ourselves properly and are compliant in this matter. Interesting. So how about them apples, folks? Yeah, Ole Miss has come out for the first time in almost half a decade. They've probably faked, I don't know, a couple of hundred injuries, allegedly, at least. And I'd say he's picked up an extra 150, 200 timeouts, somewhere in that neighborhood. I wonder how many ball games they won because of that, or Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin have won because of that. Probably, I figure at least half a dozen, maybe 10, that were really tight ball games where that gave them, they did it to us up in Neyland. That's why everybody gives Tennessee so much grief for throwing golf balls and French mustard at him and all that crap. It's because he was faking injuries. And he did it over and over and over. And we got sick and tired of it. And I put out that video and I showed it to you. Good gosh, it was. And maybe, I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Maybe y'all had something to do with it. Maybe y'all got fed up with it too. But I'm real pleased about it, because maybe now it's going to be tough. That game's at 7:30. Our game's at 7 o'clock. So I'm not going to be able to watch the entire thing. I can just like bits and pieces. I can have it on my phone though, and see if he's going to, because here's the thing. Lane always has a fake injury, or so-called fake injury, after a big splash play. And of course, LSU, they've got Newsmeyer, and he throws the ball really well. So I was expecting a fake injury timeout, or a Kiffin timeout, as I like to call it, right after every big splash play and every first down, because that's his MO. He does that almost every time against any real competition. So we'll see if they're going to follow through with that tonight, and if he actually plays a straight-up ball game for a change. It will be the first time since I've ever watched Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss if they do that. Now, y'all have to let me know if he does or not, because like I said, I won't be able to watch it live, but I should be able to watch enough of it to see if he's actually doing it or not. But I thought that's pretty interesting. That's like I say, the first time we've heard. So I'm real pleased to see that option there. Now, this is normally, let me just kind of show you what they normally do for you, some of you that haven't ever watched or seen it.
Hey, you want to take injuries? You got it.
Oh my God!
Oh, I can't go on.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. So I'm very surprised. I never thought they'd ever do anything or, ever discuss it, but maybe somebody at Ole Miss got tired of being made fun of and got tired of being unethical for all those alleged fake injuries. To put my little alleged in there. I can't do my little video tricks to it though. Let's see what y'all are having to say about all this. I know y'all have got a comment or two. Let's see. Yeah, I bet that's a tough loss. He went to the game. I noticed he was there. I saw where he was doing a live thing. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. It's terrible. I mean, imagine having 10 extra timeouts, folks, what that does for your game. Helps you. So, now Nico's got to run. There is no, and I've told you folks this, and as a matter of fact, I'll show it to you again. Let's see where that is. Yeah, there is no tomorrow, folks. We've got to win this ball game. Period. Stupid commercial.
What's up, Vol Nation? I am here in downtown
commercial.
Knoxville on the banks of the Tennessee River to announce something.
There, because I can tell you right now, there is no tomorrow.
He's hooking. He's hooking. He's hooking. Damn, Ron, come on. What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah, folks, there is no tomorrow. I'm telling you, this game is an absolute must-win for Tennessee tonight at 7 o'clock. It's an absolute must-win, period. There's no other way to put it. I could not agree more with this comment right here. Let Nico be Nico. I mean, come on. As a matter of fact, let me show you what needs to happen with Nico. Let me get into this one. This is the way I had to do it today. I'll find it for you. Don't you worry.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Yeah. Absolutely. He's smart enough, he's good enough, he's talented enough, and everybody likes him. So let's get it done, Nico. Run that football, man. I want to see some quarterback draws. I want to see him run when he does the run pass option and he comes up and he holds the ball for the running back and he always hands it off. And then the edge guy crashes down on Dylan Sampson every time and he gets like 2 or 3 yards instead of breaking free for 7 or 8, because we need that edge rusher to hesitate. We need him to go, oh crap, Nico might hold on to it. He just held on to it the last play. I better wait and see what happens. As soon as he pauses, then he hands the ball to Dylan. Dylan can race and he can take off, and that edge rusher's not crashing down on him. So hopefully we'll see that. God, what an ending. What an absolute ending. Yeah, I think most people are rooting for Oklahoma. I'll be rooting for Oklahoma. Underdog. I always like the underdog pretty much. Horns down. Oh, no, they get up. Don't say horns down. They'll give you a penalty. Oh, man. Yeah. I agree. He is a dual purpose guy. He can run like the wind. I think he'll run in this game. Heupel's not stupid. He knows this is a must win, and he knows that it's time for, Nico to be Nico. There's no point in hold back anymore. There's not. Yeah, I understand. Hey, folks, let me tell you what I'm doing tonight. Just how serious I am about this ball game. You folks know I don't bring this out unless it's real serious. This is my good luck chain that we won the national title with in baseball. And I wore it every dadgum time. We won 9 out of 10. So tonight, yeah, the power T's coming out. I don't have any choice. This game's too important. I cannot lose to Florida. Oh, God. Not this year. Not this year. And Billy Napier's, Mr. T starter kit. No diggity, no doubt. Billy's got to have this or he's going to get fired, especially if we whoop up on him, which I think it's going to be a heck of a ball game. I don't think it's going to be any rip. I think we'll win by about maybe 7 to 10 points, and we'll be lucky to do that. I think it's going to be a dogfight. I can see that Graham Mertz keeping the ball from us, having those 6, 7, 8 minute drives. It's going to drive me nuts. I'm fine with that, Angry Titan. I'd love that. You talking about coming out here and crowing like a rooster. Woo! Like a crow. I'll be loving it. He actually, now that, what's his name? Lenoris played a great game up until the end there. He played a great game. His numbers were fantastic. Ran the ball well. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of people think it's going to be a tight ball game, which it might very well. Ooh, yeah. And we've got to see our offense. Now, granted, being at home will help a lot because I don't expect to have all those false starts and all those twitches and all that crap the offensive line was doing. It'll be quiet when we need it to be quiet. That makes a huge difference for the offense because, it'll allow us to audibilize. We can get in and out of plays better. And again, I think you're going to see a different quarterback. The guy we saw in the Citrus Bowl that was running around all over the place and ran for 3 touchdowns, ran for 3 rushing touchdowns. And in 5 ball games, he's had 1, and it was a draw play, and it worked perfectly against NC State. We've never seen that play again. So I think it was just a matter of he was just protecting him, and he's overprotected him at this point. And if we lose this game, the playoffs are gone. They're as good as gone as far as I'm concerned. It would take a miracle. We'd have to beat Alabama and Georgia at their home. So it would be extremely difficult to do that. We must win this ball game. This is absolutely necessary. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. There's no other way for me to put it. It's an absolute must win. So I'm fired up about it. I'm sure you folks are too. And let's see. Let me take a look at some of these scores and college football and all that. Let me get rid of that one. And let's get into our college football scores. Looks like they hadn't started most of them. Oh, Lord. There's 4-day. To get rid of that. Cancel. But it has not let me down but one time out of 10 or 11 times. And I use this. I used this in the Oklahoma game too after the first half, I believe. So I pulled it out one time this season. I don't think I pulled it out in Arkansas. I don't think I did a halftime. I probably should have. I might have. I can't remember. Let's see. Yeah, they were lucky. Gosh, man, I'm telling you. Very lucky. The fumble, that South Carolina fumble was terrible. But, they had that interception down there in the end zone too, which was fantastic for South Carolina. When you're rooting for the other team, you always see the bad luck for them and not the bad luck for the other team. Yep. I know it. It does make a difference, though. I'm just talking about our offense. And this offense doesn't work unless the quarterback runs. It just doesn't. You've got to have a dual-threat quarterback, and that's why we struggled a lot with Joe Milton. He's a hesitant runner. He didn't really like to do it. And it allows the defense to be – they can cheat on you. The defense can cheat on you if they know that the quarterback's not going to run. They don't have to worry about it. That's a huge concern. Imagine if Jalen Milroe didn't run for Alabama an entire game. The defense would have a field day. All they'd have to do is play the run and just pin their ears back and go after him. And they wouldn't have to worry about it if they went around him and missed him. So what? He's not going anywhere. So, yeah, Bama. Let me tell you something. Bama could have 3 losses right now. Absolutely could. But they've only got 1. But they could have 3. The Vanderbilt game, which they did lose. The Georgia game, who came back on them. And then this South Carolina game could have definitely gone against them. I thought Hidden was Joe's roommate. I think he was. Oklahoma, yeah. I'm expecting Texas to win this ball game. I don't think Oklahoma can. Well, who knows? You never know. Let me tell you something. That's a dogfight. Oklahoma can't stand Texas. That's a big time dogfight. You take a look at these other games. You've got the LSU Ole Miss game is very interesting to me. that game could go a couple different ways because I'm not a big believer in LSU right now. Although LSU has a tendency to look crappy at the beginning of a season. I don't know if y'all have noticed that. But then they just start getting better through the season and they kind of hang on and they wind up winning 9-10 games. And they've done that a couple different times. They've got a good quarterback. He's not a dual threat, but he's got a great arm. We'll see. You know, they got the defensive coordinator from Missouri, which was a huge get. And that'll help their defense a lot. Their defense was tragic last year. I can't believe Missouri gave up that defensive coordinator. They beat up on some crap team, Massachusetts, today. That it looked like a high school team. I watched a few plays, and that quarterback was back there like he didn't look like he knew what he was doing. It was pitiful. I'll tell you what, South Carolina's got a defense, man. I had that show with Kangaroo. Told him, I said, that defense is for real, and he knew it too. That game could have gone the other way so easy. Especially had they scored at the end right there, that would have been – I don't think Alabama could have recovered from that. That would have been one of the most tragic losses ever. Well, now, I don't think their field will be – aren't they playing in Dallas? Aren't they playing in Dallas? I think they're playing in Dallas. Wouldn't that be – that's Texas's deal. It's not Norman. Baton Rouge. Oh, is that where they're playing? Is LSU? Oh, LSU's at Baton Rouge. That'll be fun. I wonder if anybody in there will be intoxicated. I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes. Especially at 7. Oh my God, 7:30 in Louisiana. I think it's against the law to be sober at that hour at the game. Fake UT. Fake UT. Is that what you call in Texas? Fake UT? That's funny. Yeah, it's in Dallas. Cotton Bowl, at the Cotton Bowl. That'll be a fun game. And then what about Ohio State is playing Oregon? It's at Oregon. And this is the first game. This is the first real team that Ohio State's played all year, and Oregon's been skating by. They've almost lost twice. So I think Oregon's going to get exposed. The big thing they got going for them, Oregon's a tough place to play. If you've ever been in that stadium, man, it's wild there. They'll have that place decked out like you can't believe. It'll be loud. That'll be a little tough on Ohio State. So we'll see how that goes. But that should be a great ball game. That's another one that's a night game. I believe it's at 7. So they say they haven't kicked off yet. The Texas, Oklahoma. They're getting ready to square off here at the coin flip. That reminds me of that movie. The best little house in Texas. Y'all remember that one? And they had all the football players, and they all weighed about 150 pounds. It was like Hollywood. That's Hollywood for you. And then they danced. It's like, yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah, you may be right about Bama. I don't know. I never count them out because they're so talented. But they're definitely not a Nick Saban coach team. Nick Saban doesn't allow his team to play like that. James, it's a little early now. Take it easy. We got a 7 o'clock game. We need you right for that time. Let's see. Oh boy, Oregon. Yeah, I'd say a lot of people will be rooting for Oregon. I don't know. I don't like a fake team, that skates by and barely beats 2 average teams like they did, and then suddenly shows up against one big team. I feel like you need to earn it a little bit, but Oregon will have to play, let's see, they're going to play Ohio State. They got 2 or 3 games in there that could kick them in the butt. I think they got to play either Penn State or Michigan's a team that if they run on you, you're in trouble, but they can't pass for anything. It's not good. Oh, yeah. I'm sure Kangaroo Black was freaking out during that game. That was a stressful game for Alabama. It was way more stressful for Alabama than it was South Carolina because they're the underdog on the road. So nobody expects them to be in that game. As a matter of fact, they were a 3-touchdown underdog. and they're sitting there with a 6-point lead with fourth quarter to go, and then they fumble it. And then, of course, Alabama scores. But they made a game out of it. Had that kicker not shanked that 50-yarder, if he makes that, it's a little different game. Let's see. Yep, so the games are getting ready to start. I just wanted to have a little midday catch-up, little breakdown. And I'll be back. I'll do a pre-show for the 7 o'clock game with the Vols, probably about 6:30. I'll pop on and do about 30 minutes, and I'll have some stuff prepared. But I just wanted to do a little midday. And anyway, just talk about some of these games coming up. We got some big ones right now at 3:30. I definitely want to watch this Texas-Oklahoma game. I think that'll be a good game. Should be very interesting. So I'll see y'all at 6:30. If you got time, check it out. We'll see you in a little bit.